Hey everybody, welcome into another edition of Make Every Second Count Live with me, your host and international award-winning Make Every Second Count speaker. Now I'm very excited for tonight's show because our guest tonight is amazing. She will teach you how to figure out exactly who you are and exactly what you want to do with your life. And I'm super excited for that because I think everybody needs to know their purpose. But here on Make Every Second Count Live, we'd like to help the people get from where they are to where they want to be and live their best life. Now, my background is I was in a car accident when I was 17. I spent 2.5 months in a coma and 3.5 in the hospital. So I can help you, trust me, and I'm here to help you. So I ask you if you would please share this video out. Invite as many people as you can to watch this because it's going to be a great show. And also ask as many questions as you would like. Keep those comments flowing in. Give us all kinds of thumbs up, hearts, or frowny faces, angry faces, sad faces. It don't matter. Just help me beat the algorithm on Facebook. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce to you Danielle.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Hey Danielle, thank you so much for joining.
I'm
Um,
super excited.
I appreciate you definitely taking the time out of your busy evening to be here with me, my viewers, and everybody else in the world that cares to watch this show. So I would like first of all to say hi to Ben Bruce, who is watching us from Nigeria. He says, "Hey, welcome everyone. This week's edition of Make Every Second Count." So thank you, Ben Bruce. Great to see you, man. Now, Danielle, if you would, please take it away with your introduction. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, what you do, and more importantly, why you do what you do.
Yeah, of course. It's a pleasure to be here. So, my name is Danielle Roberts. I was born and raised in New Jersey, but I'm currently living in Clearwater, Florida, and I am a transformational career coach. I've been officially coaching for about 2 years now, but unofficially probably for my entire life. I'm a big sister, have been for many, many years. Prior to coaching, I spent 11 years in corporate. I worked in social media marketing. And after just feeling really empty and unfulfilled in my own career, I decided to dig deep and intentionally pivot into coaching. And it is without a doubt the best decision that I have ever made. And now it is my mission to help primarily millennials who are tired for settling for good enough and provide them with the tools and the support and the accountability to help them identify their self sabotaging behaviors, learn to love themselves, uncover purpose in their career path, and find more fulfillment and beauty in their lives.
That is phenomenal. And I really appreciate what you do because I know there are a lot of people, especially millennials out there, that struggle with those things and finding value in what they do. And I think it's completely awesome that you help those. So I have to ask, I mean, we see on social media and we hear from celebrities and stuff all the time how perfect their life is, how everything is going phenomenally well for them, but they don't show the things they are having to grow through to get to
Mhm.
where they are now. And I personally know that each person has to grow through something. And if you haven't experienced that, just wait. It's coming, I promise you. But so, is there anything that you've had to grow through in your life to get to where you are now?
Absolutely, and I agree with you. I think the biggest moments of growth come through oftentimes our most painful moments, and there's a lot that we learn about ourselves during those times. So, what I mentioned before, when I was working in social media and I just felt lost, what really made that moment come into realization for me was when I lost my mom to cancer. She was diagnosed, she was terminally ill from the time that I was young, miraculously was able to beat it out. And
Oh,
then
that's
later on in my life, yeah, she was in remission for 12 years and then got
right.
diagnosed again. And after only 9 weeks in the hospital, she unfortunately died when I was 23. And at that point, I was living in Philly. I was making a name for myself and trying to just work my way up the corporate ladder as much as I could, putting in like 60-hour weeks. Um, so needless to say, I missed a lot of family dinners just for the sake of working. And all that entire moment just made my life come to a screeching halt. And the sirens going off in my head were pretty much like saying, for what? Why did I do that? Um, and she was only 38 when she first got diagnosed. And because I was 23 when she died, I kept thinking to myself, and very much to, making every second count. If I only had 15 years left of my life, what do I want that to look like? How do I want to be remembered? And what is the impact that I want to make? Um, and that was really the biggest obstacle, overcoming that grief and figuring out what that meant in my own life and translating that into my own definition of success and then living that definition.
So, how exactly did you deal with losing your mom? How exactly did you deal with the? All right, I gotta think how to word this. How exactly did you deal with that regret of not being there with your family as much as you could have been?
Yeah. So in full honesty and transparency, I didn't cope for a while. I was stuck in like a spiral of grief and being really hard on myself. Um, and my mental health was just deteriorating for a while to the point that I got to the point where like I scared myself with some of the thoughts that I was having. So the primary way that I dealt was when I realized that I was stuck and couldn't get out of it on my own is I called in every single type of support system that I possibly could. First and foremost, I found a therapist. I hired my own coach and mentor. And then from that point, I ventured into this journey of healing and became relentlessly curious about personal development and getting to know myself again in the midst of that grief. So I watched a ton of videos, I read books, I took courses, and I talked to as many people as I could that went through something similar, just so I could find that connection and the people that felt some of the same ways that I felt. And all of that really gave me more self-awareness and more clarity into some of that trauma and what was keeping me stuck. Um, and then really from there, it's just been an equally challenging and rewarding evolution of building a career and a life where I can feel fulfilled and at peace with the things that have happened in my past.
Yes, that is really cool. Now, I happen to know somebody that goes to all kinds of events like that about helping them move past the trauma of their past. So I will have to introduce the two of you.
For
But
sure.
so, can you give some insight to other people that are dealing with the same kind of thing and let them know how they can figure out how to who exactly they are and how they can live the life of their dreams and how or and what is it that they want to do in life?
Yeah. Yeah. So to your point about trauma, I think a lot of it lies in the answers, and oftentimes it's not the traumatic event that happens to us, but how our brain and our body respond to those events. So what I would suggest first and foremost is that the answer never exists outside of you. And it's often not a quick fix, right? Those celebrities are not going to give you the answer because they are not like bearing all, they are not getting vulnerable. And many of us have been conditioned to believe that we have to check a lot of boxes.
I have one question now.
Yeah.
Since you said that celebrities aren't going to help them find that, how exactly do they need to go through a personal development trip
Mm-hmm.
like you did?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there some other way they can find those people?
So no other person outside of you will give you those answers. Living a life of purpose and peace begins with an inner path of self-discovery, right? So you can't put directions into your internal GPS if you have no idea what the destination is going to be. So my suggestion would be to travel inward and ask yourself some incredibly specific questions to gain more awareness and clarity around who you actually are outside of other people's perceptions, because society is like, all you have to do is pick a major, go to college, get a job, buy a house, get married, have a kid, and then watch your kids do the exact same thing. No, you have to kind of get down into your more like inner child self and your imagination and your creativity and drop out of that always productive mode so you can get back to like your sense of self-worth and your feeling of enoughness as a person, not how other people define you. The second is pay attention to literally everything that you're taking in your environment and tune into how those things make you feel. So what people are you spending time around? What's your diet? What types of media and social media are you consuming? How do you talk to and about yourself? And then get really honest with yourself about which of those things energizes you and which of those things suck the energy out of you. And then really intentionally make decisions to spend more time doing the things that energize you. And then the third thing is to call in help. And it's brave to ask for help. It's brave to be vulnerable because your level of self-awareness oftentimes doesn't extend past yourself. And sometimes you need someone like a coach or a mentor or a professional or even just a friend to hold up a mirror so you know some other things that need to heal that you might not be seeing yourself. And so you have a solid support system. So definitely traveling inward and understanding that it is not an instant gratification journey. It takes some time, paying attention to your environment and asking for help.
Hang on. I wrote something the other day on one of my pages here on Facebook. Now, if I can find that, geez, some people share way too much in my group.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I know. Darn it, it's not there. But so what exactly is it that you listen to a lot on Facebook or on, I don't mean on Facebook, I mean on YouTube or anywhere else that you find your personal development? What is it that you go for?
Yeah, so I'm an inclusive business owner, so I hire a lot of female coaches and mentors of my own that I work one-on-one with. But in terms of other resources, I love to read personal development books. Brene Brown and Glennon Doyle are two of my favorites. And I'm also reading a book right now. It's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And it is absolutely fascinating.
I know who that is.
Yeah, it's like it blew my mind when I read it. And then I also listen to a lot of podcasts too. So that I listen
Do
to.
you listen to my podcasts?
I have listened to a couple of episodes.
I'll see now that You're doing amazing things.
But again, it's like that consumption. I don't really turn on the news a whole lot. I unfollowed a lot of people on social media who were really negative. So I try to practice what I preach for sure and make sure that I am consuming things that make me feel the most empowered.
I don't watch a lot of news either, but I have been kind of following along with the Ukraine situation
Yeah,
because I don't like to see that at all.
yeah,
And just the awesomeness of the people of Ukraine fighting back against the Russian army, who is supposed to be like the second strongest army in the world, but they're not even the second strongest army in Ukraine right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. So I found this thing that I wrote the other day and I want to read it. So bear with me, I'm sorry. It says, I recently found something out that kind of took me back for a minute. For a long time, I have had faith in myself, belief in my own abilities, so much so that I believe I can handle any storm sent my way. At the same time, I believe in you. I believe in your abilities, and I forget to tell people because I figured out that I had shown everyone how much I believe in them. So I beg of you, please don't ever give up on yourself. You may not see it right now, but there is a light on the other side of of whatever storm you are facing. You are going to make it through this. You are stronger than you think you are. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness.
Mm,
Asking for help shows that you are human.
yes,
Now,
love it.
I just wanted to read that since you said that about asking for help isn't a sign of weakness.
Mm-mm.
It's brave to do that.
Yeah,
And I find that awesome. And I had to read my own stuff there for a minute.
we're on the same wavelength there. Love it.
Yeah. So, I have to tell you guys that if you're looking to learn how to make every second count, if you're looking to learn how to make the best of your life, there are all kinds of tools out there for you to do that. And I am actually going to tell you about one more. So, this tool is one that is good for each and every person out there. This is my journal. As you can see, it's framed back there, but here's a proof copy of it. And this is a 9-week journal that actually has pages for you to write in. And it's all about having you use more gratitude in your life and show you perspective in life. So you're not always comparing yourself with people that have it all together or people that pretend like they have it all together. And I really want to help people. So I have come up with something that you can do. Now, this is you can go to my website at www.jeffmarconette.com/journal and you can download the first 7 days of that journal for absolutely free. All you have to do is give me a little information about yourself and tell me your goals and things like that. And I would like to say hi to Jason and hi to Aaron Page, who actually said hi to you too, Danielle. So,
Hello.
I love this show because people can talk in the comments, and they do a lot of times, and I'm so proud of them for that. So, but I have to ask Danielle, is there anything else that you would like to mention or talk about while you're here with me?
I mean, really, the best gift that you can ever give to yourself is self-reflection and celebrating how far that you've come. You know, to your point, Jeff, earlier about being proud of everything that people have gone through. It's so easy to be hard on ourselves, but if you take a look back and realize that you've survived through 100% of your bad days, that's pretty good. And don't like ever give up on yourself. There's so much life to be lived and there's so much beauty that you can find. So just make that journey inward and you will find it, I promise.
Yes, that is great advice. Now, do you meditate?
I
Because I
do.
know that is a strong way of doing self-reflection.
Yeah, I actually have, oh, this way. In the back here is my little meditation corner. I meditate every single morning.
All right. And all right, so now I'm going to have to ask a few other questions about that. How exactly do you meditate? How is it just sitting there, and how do you keep your mind quiet?
Yeah, so the purpose of meditation is not to completely quiet your mind. And I think that's where people get frustrated with it because they think if they have a busy mind while they're doing it, then they're failing at it. But meditation is a practice like anything else. And I will usually sit and do quiet guided meditations on YouTube. I'll look something up based on what my state of mind is for like 15 to 20 minutes. And really, I just honor and acknowledge any thoughts that do come in and release them. Because one of the most fascinating things about being a human is that we can observe our own thoughts, which means we can be having an anxious thought and then zoom out and saying, I'm having an anxious thought and change that up in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's what meditation allows us to do. And the more that you practice that, the stronger your mind becomes, the quieter it becomes. And when your mind is quiet, then you feel more at peace.
Awesome. Now, I actually have two people I'm going to connect you with now.
Yes.
Now that you said that right there, you're a perfect person.
Would
So
love that.
I thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy evening when you're in Florida. What's the weather like there?
It's, I think, like 82. Sorry.
It now, hold on. I'll tell you. Well, it's raining here, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, don't be sorry. It's spring. Everything needs rain to
It's
grow.
blooming. Oh yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Love that mindset.
And then when stuff blooms, my sinuses will be going crazy.
I
But
hear you.
we appreciate you taking the time out of your night when it's 82 degrees out. You could be at the beach, you could be at the club, you could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that.
It's an
But
honor to be here with you.
I need everybody out there, including you, Danielle, to do me a favor. I need you to make every second count. Why, you ask? Well, you never know when the seconds are going to run out on your one life. Guys, I'll see you back here next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where I will introduce you to another beautiful, amazing woman. Thank you so much, Danielle.
Thank you so much, Jeff.